pain. It's the cruelest teacher, the fiercest enemy, and yet the most honest friend. It's the darkness that lurks in the corners of your mind, whispering, taunting, and sometimes it screams. It's that burning fire that consumes every thought, every breath, leaving behind nothing but ashes and echoes of what once was. I feel it now. Oh, how I feel it. The way it wraps around my chest like a vice, squeezing tighter and tighter until I can barely breathe. It's in the pit of my stomach, a gnawing, twisting serpent that coils around my very soul. It's in the back of my throat, choking me with the bitter taste of despair, forcing me to swallow down the bile of sorrow. They say pain makes you stronger. They say it builds character, that it shapes you into something more. But what they don't tell you, what they never tell you, is that it also breaks you. It tears you apart, piece by piece, stripping away every layer of who you are until there's nothing left but the raw, bleeding essence of your being. Do you know what that feels like? To be laid bare, exposed to the merciless winds of agony. To have every scar, every wound, ripped open again and again, until you're left screaming in the darkness. It's like standing on the edge of a bottomless abyss, staring into the void, knowing that it's staring back at you, and all you want to do is fall into that endless blackness and let it consume you. But you don't. You can't. Because there's something else there, isn't there? Something deeper, something more insidious. It's the voice, the one that whispers in your ear, telling you that you deserve this, that this pain, this agony, is your punishment. It's the weight on your shoulders, pressing down, crushing you under its relentless pressure, until you're nothing but a shadow of yourself. Oh, how I've fought it, how I've struggled against it. But no matter how hard I try, no matter how much I scream, it's always there, lurking, waiting for that moment of weakness to strike. And when it does, it hits you with the force of 1,000 storms. It's like a tidal wave crashing over you, drowning you in a sea of despair, pulling you under until you can't breathe, can't think, can't feel anything but the cold, suffocating weight of it all. You think you can escape it? Ha! You can run, you can hide, you can try to bury it deep within the recesses of your mind, but it will find you. It will seep into your dreams, turn them into nightmares, haunt you in the dead of night when the world is silent and still. It will find you because it is you. It's a part of you, ingrained in every fiber of your being, and no matter how much you try to deny it, it will always be there. And so you learn to live with it. You learn to embrace it, to let it become your companion, your motivator. It drives you, pushes you beyond your limits, forces you to confront your deepest fears. It's the fire that fuels your rage, the ice that cools your resolve, the hammer that forges your spirit into something unbreakable. But even as you rise from the ashes, even as you emerge from the darkness stronger, wiser, more resilient, it never leaves you. It's there, in the back of your mind, a constant reminder of the battles you've fought, the scars you bear. It's a shadow, always lurking, always waiting for that moment of vulnerability. And when it finds it, it strikes with a vengeance, a fury that knows no bounds. But in that pain, in that suffering, there is power. Power that comes not from the pain itself, but from what you choose to do with it. You can let it destroy you. Let it consume you until there's nothing left but a hollow shell. Or you can harness it, use it to fuel your fire, to drive you forward, to make you unstoppable. I've felt that power. I've tasted it, savored it, and let it course through my veins like a raging river. It's intoxicating, exhilarating, and terrifying all at once. It's the realization that no matter how much pain you endure, no matter how deep the wounds, you can rise above it. You can turn that pain into strength, into resolve, into an unshakable will that nothing and no one can break. But it comes at a cost. Oh, does it come at a cost? Because every time you use that power, every time you draw on that well of pain, it takes a piece of you with it. A piece of your soul, a piece of your heart, until there's nothing left but a cold, hard shell. And that's the cruel irony of it all. The very thing that gives you strength is the same thing that destroys you, slowly, relentlessly, until you're nothing but a shadow of who you once were. But what choice do you have? What choice do any of us have? Pain is inevitable, unavoidable. It's the price we pay for living, for loving, for daring to dream. And so we embrace it, we endure it, we let it shape us into something more, something stronger, something wiser, something that can stand in the face of the storm and not flinch, not falter. And in that moment, when you stand on the edge of the abyss, when you stare into the void and it stares back, you realize something. You realize that pain is not your enemy. It's not your friend. It's a part of you, a part of your story, a part of your journey. And without it, you wouldn't be who you are today. So I embrace the pain. I let it wash over me, let it course through my veins, because I know that it's making me stronger. It's shaping me, molding me into something more, something unstoppable. And no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much it tears at my soul, I will rise. I will rise from the ashes, from the darkness, from the pain, and I will be stronger for it. Because that's the power of pain. It's not in the suffering, not in the tears, not in the agony. It's in the strength you find within yourself to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep rising. And in that strength, in that resolve, lies the true power of pain.